Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us for Access City Council. I'm your host, David Riggleman, Communications Director for the City of Las Vegas. Coming up on this show, residents in Sun City receive new smoke detectors thanks to a huge community effort, and a new art exhibit goes in at Durango Hills Park. Here to talk about these stories and much more is the councilman who represents Ward 4. You know who it is. It's Mr. Stavros Anthony. Welcome back to the show.
Good to be here.
How are
Lots
you?
to talk about, and it's finally cooling down a little bit, so we can spend a little bit more time outside.
It's about time. It was a warm summer, late this year too.
It was, and we have some great events coming up that are outside that you're going to want to hear about.
Exactly. Got a full show. We'll tell everybody, first of all, if you're not exactly sure where Ward 4 is located, well, no problem. We're going to show you. It's basically in the northwest area of the city of Las Vegas. If you live in that area with the 4 on it in green, appropriately enough, that is Ward 4. It's basically north of the Summerlin Parkway, west of US 95, and sort of south of Ann, generally. If you live in that area, work in that area, then you are in the city limits of the city of Las Vegas, and you are represented by Stavros Anthony. So, love this. You have a huge effort going on. We talked about this at the very top of the show, out in Sun City to make the community safer. You posted this on Facebook. Thank you, Las Vegas Fire and Rescue, the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Mojave Electric, and members of the Sun City Summerlin community for coming together and changing out smoke alarms older than 10 years, keeping our community safe. This is a great, great program because, Councilman, people, I think, know to change the batteries every year, but do you know you need to change the smoke detector too? Yeah,
and I'll tell you, I have to thank our Las Vegas Fire and Rescue because they're the ones who started receiving these calls from our seniors in Sun City, Summerlin about, and some of them were 911 calls. My smoke detector's going off, it's acting weird, what do I need to do, those sorts of things. And you're right, most people don't know that they have to change out their smoke detector every 10 years. So our LVFR got together with the Sun City community, with the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, and several of our private contractors. Here we have Mojave Electrical, and got together and put a program in place where people can sign up and have somebody come out to their home for a very nominal fee to change out every one of their smoke detectors and make sure that they work, they're functioning. And we're going to continue doing this until we get every single smoke detector taken care of in Sun City, Summerlin. So I just want to thank everyone that came together to do this, because this is a public safety issue. This is making sure that our community is safe. And if it wasn't for our Las Vegas Fire and Rescue finding out about this problem and then getting everybody in the community together, this wouldn't have happened. So glad to be part of it. If you live in Sun City, and you want to sign up, there's information in their magazine and on their website called The Link, or you can call their office. You can call my office, stop in at Fire Station 107, and get on the list to get this done. I think we have another one coming up in a couple of weeks where come out, get the information, sign up. And this is something we may need to take a look at for the rest of the community.
It's a great program. And again, Councilman, I think you're hitting it on the head. People, I think, know you got to change the batteries regularly, annually. It's usually a reminder about the time you set the clocks, either before or ahead or behind. That's a good time to also change the batteries in your smoke detector. But again, if your smoke detectors are over 10 years old, they need to be replaced because they're just not any good anymore.
Right, and we have people in Sun City, Summerlin that are 80 years, 90 years old, and they definitely cannot do this themselves. So for us to come together to help these folks out is absolutely great. So this is how we keep our community safe. It's not just the fire department's issue. It's not just Sun City, Summerlin's issue. It's the whole city of Las Vegas and our community partners coming together. So I'm really proud of these folks for doing this.
Yeah. Councilman, you also posted this on Facebook. I love it. A great night for National Night Out in Desert Shores, working again to keep our community safe. And National Night Out traditionally is the first Tuesday of August across the nation. And once again, it was observed here in Las Vegas out at Desert Shores.
Yeah, Desert Shores puts this on every year. It's a great community. As you can see, it was in my ward, but Mayor Pro Tem Fiore and Councilwoman Seaman came out to support this community, and Smokey the Bear was out there, and the mayor was out there. She kicked it off, and a lot of people showed up, and it was really a great way we had Metro police officers out there, our firefighters, our deputy marshals from the city, elected officials, We had hot dogs and Coke and Pepsi, and it's a relaxing way to meet your public safety members and talk about what's going on in the community, what the problems are, how we can solve those problems. And it's no better place to do it than the lagoon, where you can jump in and go swimming. And it was actually kind of cool that night because it was very cloudy. So Desert Shores does a great job of putting a national night out together.
That started off across the country as National Leave the Light On Night, first Tuesday of August. And again, the idea was to send a message to the criminal element out there that, hey, we're all in this together as a community. We're watching out for one another. If you come into our community, there's going to be a lot of eyes on you. So
right, and it culminated into, hey, maybe we should all get together and talk instead of just staying in our house and lighting up a light, which was a good first step. It was, maybe we should get together and discuss it and talk about the issues and get with our public safety personnel. And and like I said, it's done all over the country. It just depends on what night they want to do it, whether it's 110 degrees out or not.
Right.
That's culminating. So we have another one coming out we'll talk about later on.
We do a little bit later in the show, but yeah, in some of the communities across the country that it's pretty hot in August, like right here in Las Vegas. It's also held in October, and so there's going to be another National Night Out event coming up in Ward 4.
That's because not everybody has a lagoon they can do it.
Exactly. The Desert Shores folks have a little bit of an advantage there. Well, this is great. This goes right along with public safety. Councilman, you recognized recently at a city council meeting, the second one in August 21st, you recognized the trauma intervention program. They're celebrating 25 years. I didn't realize it had been around that long. But this is a group of volunteers that help people who are victims of crime and who've suffered some major trauma, whether it's the murder of a family member, maybe the death of a family member in an accident, whatever it might be.
Yeah, and that was Jill Roberts, the executive director that just came down. And this is a great organization because it's made up of volunteers. It's one of the largest and one of the oldest in the country. And these volunteers go through a very rigorous program. There's about 70 or 80 of them. There's some of the volunteers, some of the board members. Our Chief Freeman, I believe, is on the board. And these people volunteer to come out on these major crime scenes, or a crime scene, a traffic accident, something that is very chaotic. And a lot of these criminal investigations are very chaotic. You got people running around all over the place. And for these volunteers to come out and spend some time with the victims, witnesses, to talk through the issues, let them know what's going on, because police officers, firefighters, detectives, they have a specific job to do. And to have these folks come out and add a little personal touch to it with people that are going through a traumatic situation is absolutely awesome. I mean, my hat goes off to these folks to volunteer to do this. So we got to recognize them for 25 years of existence, and I think they're probably going to be around for another 25 years, if not longer. So,
well, Councilman, I know you're very familiar with this group. You're a former police officer yourself, retired as a captain at Metro after 29 years. And I know you know the capability and the work that the TIP has done.
Yeah, I've been on crime scenes and these traumatic situations where I've seen these TIP volunteers show up, and it's you're just kind of, okay, I'm glad they're here. They can help us. They're volunteers. They don't even have to be there. They show up on their own, and it's very heartening to see people come out and help out our first responders in these. It's really in the first hour or so, because things are just crazy. There's so many things going on. So I was honored to recognize them and give them a proclamation, let them know that we're thinking about them and that we're thankful that they're in our community.
So yeah, congratulations, Trauma Intervention Program at 25 years here in Las Vegas. Councilman Love, when new businesses open, that's always a great thing. Recently, August 17th, you have the Fa One and Noodle Company. Tell us about this. Is it a new location within your ward?
You know, these are some great owners right here. They put together a small business called Fa One, and I was out there. Congressman Horsford was out there. Sonny from the Asian Chamber of Commerce came out, and it's just a perfect example of how Las Vegas is growing and expanding. Where you get this couple with that have kids, and they've decided that they're going to live the American dream. They put almost their life savings into this business, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It's beautiful inside. The food they serve is just top notch, and we came out there and recognized them and had a lot of fun. And it's right on the corner of Buffalo and Cheyenne. It'd be
Okay.
the northeast corner, right behind the Terrible Herbst gas station. It's a small place, but the food is absolutely phenomenal. So it's thankful that we have people that will invest in themselves, that are living the dream, that want to own their own business. I think they're going to be very successful. But they're going to be successful because you're going to go out there and eat their food.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's a win-win.
It's a great price. The food is awesome. The company that you're going to keep in there is fun, and the owners come out. They're in the kitchen. They're serving food. They're there all the time, and they're going to get the personal touch. So it's just another example of how these small businesses are growing in Las Vegas.
Yeah, we have a segment here on Channel 2 and, of course, on our social media called Open for Business. And again, we try to highlight new businesses that are coming into the community. During the recession, boy, we had some hard times, but it's so great to see these new businesses, especially small ones, get started and thrive here again. So.
Yeah, so it's Fall One at and Company Noodles, etc. at Cheyenne and Buffalo.
All right, Fall One and Company Noodles. All right, very good. Buffalo and Cheyenne, and again, you were out there. That was August 17th. And then to make sure that people know we have a truly diverse community, you posted this on Facebook. You said, Happy India Independence Day to the Friends of India, Las Vegas. And this is a nice event, too, marking the independence of the country of India.
Yeah, this is a huge event. It's an annual event. It's kind of like the Greek Food Festival for the Indian community. They had all their food was out there, their dress, their dancing. The kids they had complete knowledge of their culture, which is actually kind of neat, having the kids understand where they came from, what their culture is about. The music, it was a really fun night, and I'm honored that they would invite me to come out and share with them. I made sure that they knew the Greek Food Festival was coming up on the 25, 6, and 7, so they can come out to ours.
You got to support each other, right?
It is, but you're right. Well, what you said at the beginning is really important. We have a diverse community here, and everybody wants to celebrate their culture, celebrate their background, and not only that, but share it with the rest of the city of Las Vegas. So there were a lot of folks at this event that were not Indian, but were invited to come out and see what their culture is all about, and it was a lot of fun. It was a great bunch of folks that I got to meet.
Yeah, that's awesome. And India's independence really comes fairly late compared to the United States. They were part of the British Empire for many years and won their independence as well. So that's what the event marks. I saw old friend Sue Manteris there in one of the pictures.
Yes.
So that's very good. Well, looking forward to it. And again, it's what makes our community great. People talk about Las Vegas being the melting pot of the melting pot. That's one of the reasons I really love living here. So, and then Councilman, something, this is news to me. Allegiant Airlines, Las Vegas-based airlines, have known that for many years. Know people who work for Allegiant. Did not know that their headquarters is in the city of Las Vegas. I assumed it was out at the airport somewhere.
No, their headquarters and all their employees work out at the building at a town center and Summerlin Parkway.
I'll be darned.
Right across from Lola's restaurant. It's a huge facility, and it's one of the fastest growing airlines in the country. They have a model where they fly to places that the other big airlines don't, that need air service. Yeah. So I got to tour their headquarters. Their president has his desk out with the other 100 employees that work out there, which was really neat. And then part of their building they've donated to the Make-A-Wish Foundation, so they can have their charitable headquarters right next to Allegiant. So obviously they're making a big statement here in Las Vegas. They just signed on as the corporate name for the Raiders stadium.
Yep.
So they're really expanding. Their model out there. We're just seeing all these people working out in the open and talking to each other. And I don't think anybody had their own office. But yeah, headquarters for a major airline is in the city of Las Vegas, right in the Summerlin area.
I'll be darned. I did not know that. I knew Allegiant was a Las Vegas company, but I didn't know exactly where their headquarters is located. Well, good to have him in the city of Las Vegas, out, and
Absolutely.
especially out in the Northwest. So good stuff. And as you mentioned, Councilman, they have also bought the sponsorship rights for the Raiders Stadium. So UNLV will play there too. So it'll be known as Allegiant Stadium. Already is. So very good. And then, Councilman, I love this. You posted this on Facebook. Great night for a pool party and handing out school supplies at the Durango Hills Y in the Great Ward 4. And this was our back-to-school pool party that took place. This was back on August 9th. And it's hard to believe school's been in progress now for well more than a month. But this was kind of a last hurrah for the kids last month.
Yeah, we do this every year. We invite the kids out and their parents, and we give them some school supplies and get them ready for school. And then we let them play and swim in the Durango Hills Y, which was one of the best pool complexes in the valley. And unfortunately, it culminates in going back to school a couple days later.
Yeah.
Not great for them, but it's a good send-off for them. And they were just having a great time out there, and it was fun handing out the school supplies and talking to the parents and finding out what's going on in the school district and their neighborhood. And we were handing out hot dogs, and we had DJs. Kids were having a great time. So.
And then it was nose to the grindstone after that.
Exactly.
So. And then as part of that, Councilman, you guys are very good about helping the schools provide the supplies that maybe the teachers or the district can't completely afford. So you did some backpack deliveries, right? I think you and all your colleagues on the council used some of that discretionary budget of yours to help provide supplies like this to the schools in your wards.
Yeah, every year. I've been doing this for a while. I make sure I deliver about 50 backpacks to every single elementary school and middle school in my ward, because that's a big deal for kids to have their own backpack. It's just something that these kids really want, and unfortunately, some parents just can't afford a backpack. So it's nice to be able to deliver about 50 of them, and the principals are very thankful because they tell me there are kids that show up on the first day that don't have a backpack, so they can at least hand these out. And I do it, like you mentioned, other council members do it, and it's a great way for just to not only deliver backpacks, but I can meet with all the principals and talk to them, find out what they need from the city of Las Vegas, and kind of do that networking, which is always a good thing.
You know, we've said this many times, we're not trying to be the school district, we're not trying to take over the school district's role, but we want to help where we can. And so through various programs, even providing supplies like we saw just there, the idea is to enhance the education, help the school district where they need some help.
Yeah, because I mean, the schools are in my ward, they're a part of my community. The parents live in my ward, so I want to make sure that they know what's important to them is important to me, and that's why I do this. That's why we do feature a teacher. That's why we have Safe Key. You know, the city doesn't have a strong mandate to be involved with the schools, but we need to be involved. Everybody needs to be involved in our school system.
Because we're all in this together, and if the schools are successful, the kids are successful, we're going to have a successful community. That's the idea. So, well, good stuff. And then, Councilman, I want to tell everybody out there, you posted this on Facebook. Check out the new art installation at Durango Hills Park, and this is pretty cool. A lot of public art. We're trying to introduce more public art within the city of Las Vegas. So, as you come into the park, into the leisure center there, you're going to be greeted by this public art there.
Yeah, Culture Affairs is doing a great job putting these little pieces of art all over our city, and this one they put out at Durango Hills in my ward, and so it was developed by a gentleman by the name of Valentin Yurdanov. He's a Bulgarian, and he put this together, and it looks like a kind of a kid's thing, even though it's art, and it's perfect for the Durango Hills Y because there's a lot of kids that hang out there, so it would fit in perfectly. So it's great to put these pieces of art out and recognize the artists who put a lot of work into these, into what they're doing.
Yeah.
So this one's out at Durango Hills Y. Go out and look at it. I'm sure if you call the Cultural Affairs office, they can tell you where the other pieces of art are. Or if you're interested in partnering up with us, give them a call, and we'd be glad to talk to you.
The idea is to sprinkle that type of thing all through the community so that people can enjoy public art, which a lot of cities, a lot of great cities have been able to do over the years. And then, Councilman, this is great. You have a lot of events coming up that we want to tell everybody about out there. Neighborhood College. Tell everybody what Neighborhood College is. It's going to kick off Tuesday, October 8th from 5:30 to 7:30 here at City Hall in what we call the Now Cafe. But explain, what is neighborhood college exactly?
You know, there's a lot of people in our community that are very interested in what city government does on a local level. And they call my office and they'll say, well, why do you do it this way? And we explain it. And why do you do it that way? And we explain it. And we'd love to have those calls because we want people to know what we're doing. But if you want to take the time to get an in-depth look at how city government works, what we plan on doing, then you would sign up for this program. And it's basically Government 101. Mm-hmm. So you're going to go through a couple of classes. You're not going to be taking a test or anything like that. But you can actually come out and learn what local government does, right, what the city of Las Vegas does, how they do it, why they do it. There's a couple of 3 sessions. So call up, find out exactly what the time commitment is. It's not that much. And I think we're going to have a great response because people are very interested in what the city of Las Vegas does. And you're going to meet a lot of people that live in the city and kind of network and meet some of these folks. So find out when they are and sign up.
I think it's really helpful too, because people often are very confused jurisdictionally over who has control over what, who does the policing, who does, who delivers the water, right, through, if you live in the city or the county, it's water district. If you live in Henderson or North Las Vegas, it's city of Henderson or North Las Vegas. So it can be very confusing as to who's responsible for what here. And neighborhood college will help you navigate that a little bit as well.
And we're going to make it fun for you. It's going to be a lot of fun information, and you can go out there and show everybody how much you know about city government and impress your neighbors.
Right. You'll be the smartest person on your block.
Exactly.
And then, Councilman, I want to tell everybody too, speaking of Durango Hills, YMCA, you have an event September 20th, Movie in the Park. We're always stoked to do these. This one's going to be How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. That's going to be Friday, September 20th at 6:30 p.m. out there. And these are always really fun because it's free. You can come out, enjoy a great movie, the camaraderie, the people around, and we always have some free stuff as well.
And I'll be out there and looking forward to talking to you.
Yeah, popcorn, water. Mm-hmm. It's a great way to spend the evening and see a movie for no cost at all. Good stuff. And yeah, you're always out at those, so they can come and say hello to you as well. And then we're going to celebrate Constitution Day. 9th Annual Constitution Day is going to be September 21st. This is 11 to 1 out at the Sun City Summerlin Desert Vista Community Center. And this is what, Councilman, basically just an opportunity to celebrate the Constitution of the United States, right?
Well, in 1787, on September 17th, that's when the Constitution was officially written and ratified. And during that week, people all over the country have what's called Constitution Day. Mm-hmm. It may be on the 17th or maybe a few days before or after, depending on the schedule. And we're holding it September 21st, and we're going to come out and listen to some speakers and talk about the Constitution, the most important document we have in this country next to the Declaration of Independence. Yep. And you're going to get to meet and talk to folks that just love our country and love the Constitution and want to celebrate its existence that began in 1787. Yeah. So come on out. Again, it's free. It's in Sun City. Great facility. I'll be out there, and it's just a great way to celebrate our country.
Yeah, it's a great part of our history because right after the United States won its independence from Great Britain, we had something called the Articles of Confederation in between until we adopted a constitution, and it was a little chaotic during those times.
The Articles of Confederation was a good start, but it didn't work.
Exactly.
So
right.
the framers came together the summer of 1787, and it culminated in this final document. And if you have some kids, bring them out too, because we need to make sure our young adults and our kids understand what the Constitution is all about.
Yeah, exactly, and how it protects all of us. And Councilman, I love these. You do a lot of these coffee with the cop. We do coffee with the councilman, coffee with the mayor, coffee with the cop. And this is going to take place at Neaters on October 7th from 9 to 10:30 out there. Neaters is a great location there right at 7100 West Craig. Great food, great coffee, and you'll have an opportunity to chat with the police officers that patrol your neighborhood and also meet Councilman Anthony.
Yeah, you can come in, have some coffee, a donut, pastry, an egg sandwich, and I'll be there. Metro police officers will be there. Our deputy marshals will be there. and you can come out and just say hi, chat a little bit, or if you have something going on in your neighborhood we need to know about, then you would come out for that too. So, but it's very casual. Love to have you come out and talk to us.
Yeah, that's the idea. It's to chat over a cup of coffee, maybe over a donut, as Councilman said, versus having to come to City Hall or going to the Metro substation or whatever it might be to talk formally with someone. It's very relaxed and great way to get to meet all the people who are involved in protecting your neighborhood too.
Right.
So.
And you stop in before work. Chat a little bit and then go off to work. Yeah. Craig and 95, Neaters. Great spot.
Good spot. And then, Councilman, last but not least, we talked about this earlier in the show. National Night Out Part 2 in Las Vegas is going to take place October 8th. This is going to be a Tuesday night out at Police Memorial Park. It's going to kick off at 5:30. And again, most communities do National Night Out in August, as we mentioned earlier, but in the warmer climates like ours, National Night Out also takes place in October, the first Tuesday in October. So that's what we're going to do out at Police Memorial Park. And you're going to be joined by Councilwoman Fiore, our Mayor Pro Tem Fiore, and Commissioner Larry Brown. From Clark
myself,
County.
the three of us are the ones sponsoring it. It's like you said, it's Police Memorial Park, but again, we're going to have lots of our first responders out there, and just come on out. Let's make a little community event out of it. Meet your neighbors, meet our first responders. We're going to have some food, some games, literature for you. It's very relaxed, and it's just a great time to sit back and talk a little bit about what's going on in Las Vegas and what's going on in your neighborhood.
Yeah, exactly, and how to keep it safe. I think the idea is that, and you talked about this, Councilman, you get the police officers, the community, the other first responders, everybody working together to keep the neighborhood safe. It's kind of, we're all in this together. We're going to keep an eye out for one another. We're going to understand what the issues are. Is it auto theft? Is it burglaries? Is it car break-ins? Is it speeding in the neighborhoods? It's a chance to get together, talk about all of that.
And 40 years ago, that was not the philosophy of policing. No. The policing 40 years ago was
arrest the bad guys.
Police officers will handle it. We don't want any public input. We got it covered. We're the professionals, and that wasn't working. And now it's community policing and problem-solving policing and the broken windows theory, and it's everybody working together to keep our neighborhoods safe. And that is, obviously police officers are going to go after the real bad guys, but when it comes to solving problems in neighborhoods, everybody has to be involved in that.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, Councilman, we're just about out of time, so we want to tell everybody out there, hey, we always want to hear from you. So if you have something you'd like to share with Councilman Anthony, you can find him on Facebook and Twitter. You saw he's very active. You can also contact the Councilman just by picking up the phone, 702-229-6405, or send him an email. His address is santhony@lasvegasnevada.gov, and he will get back to you. Good stuff. We'll have you back in 6 weeks. We'll do it again.
I will be here, and we'll talk about everything that I've done. I just love being out in the community and talking to folks, because that's how we learn about what are the issues.
And you are out there. That is definitely the case. Good job, Councilman. We'll have you back in 6 weeks again with another update from Ward 4. In the meantime, we want to thank you for joining us for this edition of Access City Council. Don't miss our next show beginning on September 19th with Ward 2 City Councilwoman Victoria Seaman. You can catch all of our KCLV shows on Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire now. And don't forget, you can watch us live on the internet at kclv.tv. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time around.